left to right hand. San Antonio's up 7 as we head to the fourth. And then Wemby caught fire offensively. A barrage à trois. Had the first 7 points for the Spurs, and then he had 16 within 3. 3 minutes to play. Wemby contested 3 over Gobert. He had 39 with 15 and 5 blocks. If that sounds impressive, it's because it is. Because in NBA playoff history, since blocks became a thing, Big Vic, the 4th player with 35 points, 15 boards, and 5 blocks. The other 3, strap in. Hakeem, who did it 3 times, Shaq did it 3 times, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's the company. Danny Green, welcome back into SportsCenter. Spurs take a 2-1 series lead. Outstanding game from Victor Wembanyama. This guy lacks precedent. We're also seeing him in road environments in which we've never seen before. Watching Wemby, what did you see? What did you learn in this road win Friday night?
I saw a lot of maturity, not just in him, but in his whole group. The ball club was great tonight. They came out with a sense of urgency. They didn't start off slow. He had their first 7 points. I think it was 11-1 to start the game, and they had 18-3. They let him back in there because Minnesota's a good team. They fought, but he didn't settle. You know, he got to the basket. He got closer to the basket. Made a lot of shots there before he started taking his threes. And once he starts knocking down threes, you know it's a troublesome night. But Rudy, gave his team the victory. Did what the Stars are supposed to do. And as a young kid who's only been in his 3rd year, I think, and only his first time in the playoffs, he really showed a lot of veteran leadership tonight for that young group.
Yeah, it feels like he and the rest of that Spurs team are learning on the fly and passing all of these exams with flying colors. But shifting over to the Minnesota side of this here equation, despite getting 32 from Ant-Man, not to mention that being a team high and the team high 14 boards that he pulled down, what more can Minnesota do to try to get this thing back on track in Game 4?
Well, it's got to be their defense, right? That's what gives them the chance night in, night out, even when guys are out. They have Io back. They have Anthony Edwards back, but Dante's not right there right now. But they got to continue to be physical. Like Naz Reid was great tonight offensively. Julius was solid, but you got to give him a little more for Julius. But they got to keep Wemby away from the basket. Anthony left it all on the floor. Like he gave you 40 minutes, no minute restriction anymore. So he scored greatly. Naz scored greatly. They had some good production from other guys. But defensively, that's where it's got to start for them. You allow Spurs to get 115, it's going to be hard to keep up and score that when you're down bodies or guys that are hurt or a minute restriction and that sort. Anthony Edwards did more than we expected him to do. Even Rudy, you got to give Rudy a lot of credit. He fought Wemby tough in the paint. He didn't allow him to just get many rebounds, kind of beat him up some, and he scored double-digit points. So you got to find points as many places as you can on the offensive end. But defense is where your staple is, and you got to be physical Wemby and not let him get close to the basket, get easy things going for himself to get a rhythm.
It has been a physical series, and it looks like it's likely going to ramp up as it continues. Danny Green, we appreciate you here on SportsCenter.
Thank you, guys.
New on SportsCenter, the wily vet from the San Antonio Spurs, De'Aaron Fox.
Finch, fiery moments in Game 3. Here he is at the podium.
Chris, you guys grinded your way back into it.
Yeah.
What did you see in the fourth quarter that just couldn't allow you to get over the hump there?
Some defensive game plan mistakes hurt us. We missed some open shots for sure, and then we just fouled a little bit too much. So just gave them enough of the breathing room that they needed. So.
In terms of the game plan mistakes, what were you seeing in the matchups? How are they losing track of those things?
It was just bad routes. Rudy decides to go under on the flare screen. That was a 3. Pull in on the pick and roll over help, gave up a 3 in the corner. Just a lot of little things like that. Just weren't on point when they needed to be. So.
What did you think of what Ant gave you tonight?
Oh, he was awesome. It was great. And then it was good. He needed that, we needed that, and he's been battling back to find a game like this, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the result that went along with it. But
you found your offense with the drive and kick game. Was that kind of the plan leaning into it going in?
Well, that's what the plan has been kind of all series. But I think today we finally had an understanding of what that felt like. So,
Chris, 0 for 12 to start the night. Was that just a matter of missing shots, or
I mean, some of it was. I mean, some, we missed some open threes. I thought, we took a bunch of kind of challenged runners in the paint. And when we did have a clean layup, we didn't finish very well or at all. So, but the guys did a good job, kept guarding, kept making the game about defense. And, we were able to claw our way back into it.
did Julius's foul trouble in third quarter kind of maybe mess up some of the rotations and smaller lineups you were getting to against Wemby in the first half, or kind of how did you manage that?
Yeah, it certainly hurt. It certainly hurt us a bit. Kind of shortened up the rotation here once those guys found a rhythm of playing. So when you do that and then you get foul trouble, it kind of really puts you behind. So
just generally, Chris, with that non-Rudy lineup, do you feel like that's really a weapon for you in this series?
I thought the Rudy lineup's been okay too. So it all depends. I think it's kind of piece by piece, depending on what's going on in the game.
I guess the better way to put that would be: do you need to have kind of multiple faces in this?
Sure. I mean, we've got to be able to guard. We can't expect one person to play 48 minutes and guard them all the whole time. So we got to be able to do different things and be able to, give them different looks, that kind of thing. So. Yeah.
Coach, we seem that we've kind of struggled all game to get a stop. Can you hear me?
I missed the beginning of your.
I said, it seemed that we struggled to get a stop the entire game. What adjustments do we need to make, both offensively and defensively, to even out the series?
Well, I kind of disagree. I don't think we struggled to get stops. I think timely stops maybe, but not all game. I thought the game was, shooting percentages were pretty low. They had a hot third quarter. That's really kind of where a lot of these shooting percentages that they have may have been elevated. I think they had 6 or 7 threes in the third quarter. So that was about transition, getting matched up early. And as far as adjustments, we'll continue to look at the tape and make those and go forward.
Chris, I'm not sure I've seen players hold a referee back from their head coach before.
Pretty unprofessional, huh?
Well, can you
just did a really good job at the start.